we're super excited to have the Vegabonds coming to town next month. Thank you for taking time to talk with us today. I appreciate you sitting down for an interview.
Yeah, happy to do it, man.
Awesome. So I've got a few questions for you about your experience and your band, and I wanted to start, and I might be mispronouncing it, so correct me if I am, but you're from Dothan, Alabama. Is that right?
That's right, and you pronounced it perfectly.
Yeah. Awesome. So will you tell us what Dothan is like?
Yeah, it's kind of a mid-sized town. Dothan is where I claim, and I actually went to school at a little county school, so I'm a little more small town than Dothan.
Okay.
Dothan's probably around 100,000 people.
Okay.
And the town that I grew up in was Rehoboth, and that's where I went to school. And it's probably closer to about, I don't know, under 10,000. So it's got the small town feel, but you could always find anything that you wanted, in Dothan. We have almost any fast food restaurant, chain restaurant that you could imagine, because we're on the way down to Panama City, Florida. You have to go through Dothan. So
I see.
Everybody who vacationed in Panama City always stopped in Dothan to eat, because it's one of the last stops before you get there.
Awesome. Is Dothan where you started playing shows, or was that like at Auburn? I know you were started out at Auburn as well.
Yeah, I started in Dothan. I didn't start playing guitar till I was maybe 15, and started in the church praise band. And so I started right there in church, and then found a love of songwriting pretty early. And I started writing my own songs, like, really as soon as I could play 3 chords and put them all together.
Sure.
It's just something I've always been interested in and kind of gravitated towards. So started there, and then had a couple of bands with friends in Dothan, and at the end of high school, and then started our real first band in college, Danny and the Tanks, and then that's how I was introduced to the guys in the Vegabonds.
Okay, so were they in a different band in Auburn, or you just happened to meet them?
Yeah, they were in a band called Top House at the time, and we played all the same places in town in Auburn, and I didn't really know the guys. I knew of them. And people kept telling us, oh, you should get together with the guys in Top House. And then they would tell those guys, y'all should get Danny to sing with you. It'd be like this super group type thing. And, how people talk. And we ended up getting together and just clicked automatically in 2009.
Very cool. And did you start putting songs together for an album like right around then? Or did you start out playing shows on the road? How did that come about?
Kind of simultaneously there, because like I said, we both had semi-established bands on our own, and so we had shows booked. They had a couple of shows booked as Top House, and we just took them over as the Vegabonds and introduced the new band. And then as soon as we found out that we clicked and that we felt like it was going to be something that we wanted to move forward with as a band, we started writing songs. And so we released our first album in 2010.
And so when you first started, you were still based out of Alabama, but you all moved to Nashville at some point, right?
We did. In 2012, we moved to Nashville.
What was the behind the decision to make that move?
Well, I had been in Auburn since 2006, and so it was awesome. I went through college. I loved the college town, but it kind of we reached a point where we felt like we had grown as much as we could in Auburn.
Understood.
We needed a change, and we needed to expand our growth essentially, and we picked Nashville. We had a couple of different cities we were throwing around, but as far as like touring, we knew we wanted to tour.
Right.
And Nashville is such a great central location for the Southeast that we can get kind of anywhere in the Southeast within a 6-hour trip. So that was a lot of the decision making behind it. And then we just fell in love with Nashville once we moved here.
Awesome. I was checking out your tours from the last couple of years. Looks like you've been hitting it pretty hard. Probably hundreds of shows a year, huh?
Yeah. Up until 2020, we were doing at least 100 a year.
Yeah.
And then since then, we've kind of cut back. My wife and I have 3 kids under the age of 6, so
oh, wow.
I had to kind of cut back on touring because I want to be home with the family a lot more. But we're still doing probably close to 60 shows a year at this point, which keeps us busy enough.
Very cool. And I saw you'd been out west a bunch, like Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How does all that travel in all these different places, do they reveal themselves in your songwriting?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You got to get out there and live a little bit to become a good songwriter. That's my opinion anyway. And so a lot of the songs, like we have a song called Colorado Evergreen, and it was inspired by Colorado. Another song, Everything I Need, is about our trip we drove across country doing shows all the way to California and back, and that's what that song's about. And then we have one called Traveling Man, that's about a bunch of cities, that are mentioned in the same song. So, yeah, it definitely has a big influence on our writing and our sound.
Absolutely. Are you the only songwriter?
No, we have 2 other songwriters. Bo, our keyboard player, writes songs, and Richard, our guitar player, has written songs as well.
Very cool. That gives it some diversity of different backgrounds. I like that. You guys are from Alabama. Now you're in Nashville. Are the Vegabonds a country band? How would you describe it?
Well, you can hear my voice. I can't get away from South Alabama. So I would say I can't take the country out of me. But I would say we're a little bit country. A lot more rock than country.
Yeah.
But I would say country rock is a great combination for how I would explain our genre to people.
Very cool. And I'm sure you get fans from both sides of the aisle doing it that way. That's awesome. And you're playing here in Roanoke at the Grandin Theatre on March 7th. We're super excited to have you play that room. It sounds and looks beautiful. Do you have like new songs in the works, or what songs are making up your current live show these days?
So we put out 6 records over our span as a band, and we pull from each record at every show.
Very cool.
So it's kind of like a all-encompassing body of work, if you will, at every show. But we have our mainstays, and one of our most popular song is from our very first record. So we played that song. It's called Shaky Hands at every show we've ever played, man.
Very cool.
So that's definitely one that will always be there. We do have some new songs we're working on. We're planning on putting a record out this year. So we might have a couple of surprises for Roanoke.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear what you bring out for us. And I think you guys are also playing right up the mountain at FloydFest this summer. What's different about playing a festival set than at a theater or a club?
I think it's the vibe. Usually a festival is going to be the outdoor, feeling and vibe. And we've always said we're kind of an outdoor afternoon, late evening set band. That just seems to fit our whole mentality and vibe. And we love playing festivals, and we love playing clubs too, don't get me wrong, but the festival feel just kind of suits us a lot better playing outside.
Very cool. We're all around here excited to have FloydFest return, so it'll be great to see you all up there.
We're pumped. I believe we're doing 2 sets there.
Very cool. Is it your first time up there with the Vegabonds?
At FloydFest, yeah. It is.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely excited about that as well. So I was going to do a quick fill in the blank, and then I'll let you go. So if someone is a fan of blank, then they'll enjoy a Vagabond show. How would you fill that in?
Oh man, let's see.
Maybe another artist or another genre.
I'll throw a few out.
Sure.
I'll throw a few out. Kings Leon, Allman Brothers, Tom Petty. Probably Tom Petty is the main one.
Very cool. Well, you're in good company then. I think there's a lot of people around here who can go for that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Daniel. Well, that's all I had for you today. I really appreciate you talking to us, and I appreciate the opportunity to interview you. Looking forward to seeing the Vegabonds in Roanoke at the Grandin on March 7th. And we will let you go.
Well, Jason, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity as well, and we'll see you soon.